We are coming up on almost a year since Apple released the M1 processor and started putting it inside their Mac computers. And the M1 processor is now inside 5 of Apple's computers, if you include the iPad Pro. And out of that entire lineup of M1 computers, there is one that stands out to me above all of the rest, and that is the base model MacBook Air. Now, there's a lot to be said for the MacBook Air, and I don't think it's the perfect computer, but what I want to explain today is the base model MacBook Air, the one that you can get for $1,000 on Apple.com or $900 on Amazon or Costco, is the base model MacBook Air the perfect laptop, right? I have right here the Lenovo Ideapad 3, which I still think is one of the best budget laptops money can buy right now. This thing packs a pretty serious punch for its price. It's got an i5 processor that has 4 cores and I think 8 threads, and it's got 12 gigabytes of RAM, and it does some serious work. Now, it can't edit videos, and it's not like a gaming computer by any stretch of the imagination, but I can handle pretty much anything that I need as a freelancer on this computer, right? And that has kind of been a trend over the past several years. Laptops have gotten more powerful to the point that most, or I shouldn't say most, but a lot of people now just use laptops as their primary computer. You plug in an external display, you take a mouse and a keyboard, and you hook that up, and you're off to the races. Pretty much anything that you could do on a normal desktop, you can now do on a laptop. But it wasn't until I started traveling for work this summer that I really started to realize the value of a super high quality laptop, right? And let me set the stage for you here, right? Let's say you're traveling for work, right? You're on the road, and you set up in a coffee shop, right? Or inside a hotel room or something like that. What do you want your laptop to have, right? The first thing that comes to mind is you want a good battery, right? You can't guarantee that you're going to be next to an outlet, so you want to make sure that you have enough juice to last you for all of the work that you need. You also probably want a really good screen, right? You can't control the light when you're out and about and in a public setting, and so you probably want to make sure that the screen can be pretty bright and that it looks good in different lighting situations. You also really want a good keyboard and a good trackpad, right? Just in case you can't plug in a mouse and get an external keyboard and do a whole setup, you want to make sure that the keyboard and mouse are really good. And then you just want overall a really good build quality. And then of course you want a powerful laptop, something that's going to be able to handle all of your tasks, lots of browser windows, multiple applications running at the same time, demanding applications. You want to make sure that your laptop can handle that, right? Because honestly, what makes a good laptop, right? And what makes it not just a desktop that you can carry with you, right? Is the experience that you have on the road. And to get a good laptop, you're going to want those things. Now, that is where the experience of this Lenovo Ideapad starts to fall apart. As soon as, having this thing plugged into an external monitor, great experience, right? As soon as you unplug it and you take it on the road, the screen is just abysmal, right? It's kind of very plasticky feeling in terms of its construction. The keyboard's pretty good, but the trackpad is kind of mushy and stuff like that. The battery runs out after 3.5 hours, 4 hours, right? Which is that's a good amount of work, but it's not all day battery or anything like that. And it's just not a great experience to have on the road. On the other hand, the MacBook Air, I don't know if you have sensed a trend here, excels in all of those categories. The screen is fantastic no matter where you are. The keyboard and trackpad are best in class. The battery is unparalleled, right? And the build quality, and it's all aluminum chassis, is just really phenomenal, right? And even when you stack up or if you compare the MacBook Air against its competitors, like say the Dell XPS, it really excels better than its competition, right? The Dell XPS has just as good build quality, right? It's an all aluminum chassis. The trackpad and the keyboard are best in class. It's got a really good screen, but for the price of $1,000, the XPS models that you can get, they're just not nearly as powerful, right? Microsoft Surface laptops, same way, right? Build quality, screen, everything about it, just as good as Apple, arguably better, depending on who you talk to. But again, just not as powerful for that $1,000 price tag. Even when you compare it to like the Lenovo laptops, which are business class laptops, right? They pack a serious punch. They've got good keyboards, really powerful, not the same battery life, and they just don't feel quite as good to use as the MacBook Airs, right? And I just think that as far as getting work done on the road, I don't know if there's a better laptop out there than the MacBook Air right now. Now, of course, there are things that the MacBook Air can't do, right? If you're a professional cinematographer, editor, something or other, right, and you do professional video, the MacBook Air probably isn't going to do what you need it to do. But honestly, if you're doing that kind of work, is there a laptop out there that you can trust to do that kind of work anyway, right? Gaming laptop, business class laptop, Mac laptop. Is there one out there that you can do your work on like that? I don't know. I don't think so, and it's like, yeah, I guess the MacBook Air can't game either, right? But how often do you take your 40-pound gaming laptop out to game for 30 minutes before the battery dies anyway? I mean, honestly, like I just think about the competition, and I don't know if there's a better laptop out there for the price than the MacBook Air. And so I guess at the end of the day, I can't say it's a perfect laptop, but it's pretty darn close. And it is one fantastic laptop. If you can swing the $1,000 price tag and you need a good computer and a good laptop, I don't know if there's a better one out there besides MacBook Air. But I could be wrong. Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. How does this thing compare? What is a better laptop than the MacBook Air, right? Is there one that's better? I'm not sure. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and a sub for the YouTube algorithm, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much.